Today is the 20th anniversary of Drew Bledsoe getting knocked silly, one of the hardest hits ever, and Tom Brady stepping up and being the quarterback. And Seth Wickersham's a very good writer, has a big expose on it. Bledsoe was really one of the most serious injuries in league history. They had to rush him to a hospital, internal bleeding. And, you know, people, for the longest time, it was almost comical that Brady was a system quarterback and it was all about Belichick, and we've all come to realize Tom's pretty good. Yes, Tom Brady got a break. I think everybody in life gets lots of breaks, but many people aren't grateful and can't recognize them. I always think how lucky I was to have two smart parents. My dad was a doctor. His brother was a doctor. My mom in England was an honors student. I came out with a much greater chance to succeed than many other people in the world. I'm eternally grateful I had smart parents who made, lots of smart decisions. I was around that wisdom my whole life. We didn't have a lot of sickness in my family. Mostly everybody's healthy. Everybody lives a long time. Feel very, very lucky for that. But it's interesting because with Brady, there has always been this sense that, boy, he got Belichick. And what a break he got. Tom Brady would have been really, really, really successful if he would have gone to any team, including the Cleveland Browns or Detroit, because he has the greatest traits I've ever seen. He's the most disciplined athlete I've ever seen. He's the most willful athlete I've ever seen. He was drafted in high school by a Major League Baseball team. He is big, he is strong, he is smart, and he is incredibly obsessed about this sport. But yes, he got a break, Bill Belichick, and the injury. Should be noted, Belichick was about done with Drew Bledsoe anyway, so Tom was going to get some reps. You know who also got breaks, though? Jared Goff, Matt Ryan, and Dak. Jared Goff got the smartest young coach in the football league, Sean McVay, a great offensive line, and Todd Gurley for a 2 or 3 year window may have been the best running back in the league. Oh, yeah, the defense was good, too. Matt Ryan got good ownership, Julio Jones, and Kyle Shanahan for several years as a coordinator. And Dak Prescott got the best offensive line and the best running back for a few years, Zeke. All three playoff disappointments. Everybody gets breaks. It's what you do with them. By the way, here's who also got breaks. And I believe to be a legend in team sports, I'm not talking tennis where you don't have a salary cap, you control to a greater extent your success. I'm not talking skiing, tennis, golf. I'm talking in team sports. And in America, they overwhelmingly have salary caps. Everybody needs a break to be a legend. Tom Brady would have been a Pro Bowler. Tom Brady would have been a Pro Bowler. Tom Brady would have gone to the playoffs, and my gut feeling is he would have eventually won a Super Bowl. But he's a legend, a living, playing legend. Every legend got breaks. I'll give you an example. Michael Jordan got breaks. Phil Jackson? Maybe the smartest coach in league history. Great, rock-solid parents. A legendary, wisdom-filled college head coach. Scottie Pippen, not a bad number 2. Michael Jordan got breaks. Phil Jackson talked Michael Jordan into shooting less and being a better teammate. What if he never had that wisdom, or the wisdom of his parents, or the wisdom of Dean Smith? Michael would have scored 47 points a game, and that'd be about it. Because he couldn't beat those Pistons for a long time until he got that wisdom. Tim Duncan, that's a legend, got a break. David Robinson broke his foot. The Spurs were actually a good team. After Robinson broke his foot, they tanked, and they got Duncan. They had won 59 games the year before. He got a great ownership group, Greg Popovich, David Robinson, ready to go. How about Patrick Mahomes? I don't know. He inherited Andy Reid, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Excellent ownership, terrific general manager, and a flaky division. And how lucky was Patrick Mahomes to get Alex Smith for a year? I mean, the ultimate teammate. To be a legend, and I'm talking Jeter and Kobe and Michael and Brady, to be a legend, not an all-star, not even a Hall of Famer. John Elway was known as having a great arm and getting blown out in Super Bowls. That was John. I lived through it. That was his legend. He's getting blown out in Super Bowls. And then he got one of the 3 or 4 greatest offensive minds in the history of football, Mike Shanahan, and this kid named Terrell Davis, a running back. And you know what happened to John Elway then? He blew out people in Super Bowls. John Elway's a legend. Peyton Manning got Bill Polian, the GM, Hall of Famer, a legend. Brett Favre got Ron Wolf. Favre's a legend. Derek Jeter goes to the Royals or the Reds. He's an all-star, and he probably ends up being a Hall of Famer. You're not going to YouTube watching those Yankee highlights in Yankee Stadium. He's not playing the Red Sox in classic fall ALCS series, okay? So everybody gets breaks to be a legend, not to be an all-star. All-star is different. Sport, I'll give you an example. Right now in Major League Baseball, there's so few legends out there. I'm talking Kobe. I'm talking Michael. I'm talking LeBron. I'm talking Brady. How many legends currently in Major League Baseball do we have? None. Mike Trout's great. He's not a legend. Never won a playoff series. We got great players all through baseball. Name a current legend. I don't think the sport has one. I don't. Like Clayton Kershaw is huge in Los Angeles. Justin Verlander. We don't have a Reggie Jackson. We don't have a Babe Ruth. Now, Ohtani is better than Babe, but he's not a legend because we don't watch him in the fall, and that's when legends are made in baseball. In the NFL, legends are made in the winter, December and January and early February. So yes, Tom Brady got breaks. We all do. Every legend ever in sports got something great. You know, it's you start looking around sports. Now, people that watch this show are sports fans. So you tend to think there's a lot more legends than there really are. The test I used to do was with my late mother, who was from England. If she had heard of you, you were a legend. She had heard of Michael Jordan. She wouldn't know who Russell Westbrook is. She would have heard of LeBron James. She had heard of Kobe. She had heard of Ken Griffey. We lived in the Pacific Northwest. She knew one athlete, Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey, the kid's a legend. So, yes, Tom Brady, 20th anniversary, got some breaks. All the great ones did. The truly great ones did. Sam Darnold and the Panthers tonight play the Houston Texans, and they are about a touchdown favorite, a little bit more. There's a headline today, according to the Charlotte Observer, that Sam Darnold was not the first choice of the Carolina Panthers. They preferred Matt Stafford, and they preferred Deshaun Watson. And my takeaway is this is great news for Sam Darnold because he should not have been their first choice. Matt Stafford's got a better arm, and Deshaun Watson is more athletically gifted. Sam Darnold should have been the third choice and was. And that is a great thing for Sam Darnold. Because what ruins careers, like his career with the Jets early, is a front office that doesn't understand personnel. If you go to the last 2 drafts of the Carolina Panthers and their GM and Matt Rhule, very impressive. Several high-end starters. Carolina, and this is a good example that they know what they're doing. They currently have the second most cap space in the league, and they only have one unit, offensive line, that's in a rebuild. You'll see it tonight. It's their weakest unit. And that's why they can't be a great team. But their front 7, their defensive line, their wide receivers, their running backs are not only good, they're outstanding. Take the Chicago Bears. They're out of money and have 4 different units that need upgrading. Look at the New York Giants. They have no cap space. They're awful in a lot of different places. Carolina is a great example. If you know personnel, Bill Parcells did turnaround jobs 4 times within a year, and Jimmy Johnson 2 times within a year. This league is not that hard if you know personnel. Parcells was brilliant. Jimmy Johnson, outstanding. Matt Rhule knows what he's doing. And by the way, if you go to Matt Rhule's college career, he's done it. This is the third time it's starting to look the exact same. So Matt Rhule goes to Temple. First year is a teardown. He's 2-10. Next year, he stabilizes it. They get to 500, and then we're off to bowl games. 10-4, 10-3. If you go to Matt Rhule in Baylor, the exact same thing. First year is a teardown. Take it to the studs. Second year, 500. We get to respectability. Third year, 11 wins, major bowl game, off and running. Well, what have they done in Carolina? Last year, the draft was all defensive players. They hit on 3 of them. 3 of them appear to be outstanding. They tore it down to the studs, 5-11. Look at them this year. I predicted they'd be 8-9. Right now, they're 2-0. Should win tonight, go 3-0. But there are limitations. You can't be great with a bad O-line. And outside of right tackle, it's not a very good offensive line. You'll see tonight. Sam Darnold's got to run sometimes. But it's the exact, when people in life, men or women, move and keep doing the same thing in the same order, you got yourself a winner. And so this year, Matt Rhule, Atlanta and the Saints are in a rebuild. So it's a division you can win 9-10 games this year. Not be great. They're not great. Can't be great with a bad O-line. They also play the very weak NFC East and the pretty average AFC East. So if Sam Darnold is the first choice, and that was the headline today, they don't know what they're doing. Matt Stafford should have been the first choice. Deshaun Watson should have been choice 1A. Sam should have been third. My concern is for Washington, who thinks Taylor Heineke's the answer, or Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's my bigger concern. If you're a quarterback and you're not the first choice, and you got Matt Stafford on the market and Deshaun Watson, thank the heavens. Your people know what they're doing. So that headline sounds brutal. It's the best thing Darnold's heard in a long time. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.